You have Moog, you have Roland, you have Korg, you have all these well-known synthesizer brand names. And then, as of recently, you have the Behringer Model D. The million-dollar question is, does it hold up? Let's check it out. This right here is your classic synthwave 80s bass sound right here. So my thoughts on the Behringer Model D. I believe this synth is a sound design powerhouse. Not like a sound design for like crazy LFOing and cross modulation and all that, but when it comes to melodic sound design and the simplicity, this is a great synth for anybody who's just getting into it. If you're like me, I like drone sounds or synths. When I get a mono synthesizer, I'm thinking bass, yeah, but I'm also thinking like drone sounds. And what I mean by drone sound, just like when you're pitch bending things and bending melodies and LFOing, as per some of the examples that I showed in the demo. This is the synth for that. I mean, the Neutron is a great synth too, but I like the filter, the 24 ladder filter on these units, because it's more aggressive as you're opening. You got to think, you got the cutoff, which is more steep. So as it's opening, more frequencies are rushing to come out. So therefore you have a more impactful sound as you're opening the filter. Not to say that negative 12 ladder filters are bad. They definitely have their use, but they're more smooth, and there's time and place for that. There's time and place for everything. There's no right or wrong. But this synth is definitely a great synth if you're trying to get into like drone sounds and synthwave basses, like those 80s basses. I played in the demo, I had an 80s synthwave type bass in there, and it sounded fucking fat. And that's literally what I would go to this synth for. I have a Moog Matriarch, but if I'm trying to make that 80s synth bass, I'm going to this synth. That's why I keep it around, because it's got a bright harmonic around the 4 to 7K area. You would think the Matriarch would have that, and it does, but it's more of a darker synth. It's good for its own purposes, but this baby has a nice frequency response on the top end, just like the real Model D did. And if you compare the two, the real to the Behringer version, they're almost neck and neck. So it's a no-brainer. You're going to spend either $5,000 to $10,000 versus maybe $250 to $300. I mean, you weigh your options here. You got some options, and I recommend the Behringer Model D. I keep it around for a reason, and it's a great synth. Thank you, guys.